Did you guys have Trump on your show sometimes?
He called in a couple of times. Matt and I, for UFC Unfiltered, interviewed Trump. It was before he got the nomination we knew he was going to get it, but it was like Biden was president. And they reached out to us. They're like, do you want to interview President Trump? We're like, yeah. So we went to Vegas and we did it in the Trump Hotel. And he was really great. Like, it was a sports interview. Because Dana's like, I don't want this to be politics. This is not a political show. We talked to him for about 40 minutes.
About boxing and stuff?
Boxing, MMA. Because Trump was a great friend to the UFC. 100%. He was a tremendous asset to the UFC long before they had what they have now. And
Dana speaks about that a lot.
His brain, whether people love him politically or not, doesn't matter. I sat in the room with him. His fucking brain was really sharp. People thought we had cue cards set up because his answers were so on the money, and he remembered every fighter and he remembered every fight. And people are like, these guys had cue cards set up, and he was very sharp. So, and he was nice to my wife when I introduced him. So I had a great time talking to him.
Yeah.
You can't not. Anybody who wins the presidency has some form of charisma.
Oh, yeah. People are like, you had that. Dude, what are you talking about? Do you know the street I grew up on? If I didn't interview a president and I had the chance, if I didn't sit with people, whether I agree with them or don't agree with them, like, how the fuck am I supposed to know anything about them or get any feeling as a human as to what they may or may not be like or how they operate? It's like, I would sit down with the devil probably and at least see if I could get a feel for some of his future plans.
Absolutely. And then I would keep looking at his little cloven feet. Where do you get your shoes from, Dev? But yeah, who wouldn't want to sit with the like again? And he was nice.
My mind.
I would show the same respect to Biden or Kamala, and any of them I talked to, I would be respectful to, and have a nice conversation with. There's this weird line where people are like, how could you talk to Trump? Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't tell me who to talk to.
You don't have the chance to talk to any of these people, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but fuck you.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with whoever wants to interview somebody. Why should just the quote unquote press have access to people? If they're willing to come on and talk, why wouldn't you talk to them?
But then insane. Some of those guys interviewed Netanyahu, and I did not like that though.
Oh, you didn't? So you had that kind of feeling?
Yep, I'm just thinking that out loud. So I guess there's a part of me that doesn't really feel that way.
But if you didn't, there's a difference between not liking something and vocally.
I wouldn't interview him.
And vocal, you wouldn't. You would choose not to. Would you? Maybe you could interview him and ask him tough questions.
I think I would probably try to ask him stuff that really means something to me.
Sure. And that's fair. Like that, they know that if you're Netanyahu or you're Trump or you're Biden, you know that when you go into an interview, part of it might be this guy asking you questions from a belief system that is not yours. So you might hear things you don't like. But yeah, that'd be the best thing to do, is to interview him and ask him shit that he might not want to answer, but that you want to know the answer to.
Do you think that's better than not interviewing somebody?
It's personal preference. I mean, I don't think you're wrong to not want to talk to somebody. I think if you go, nah, I'd rather not, I think that's perfectly fair. But I think that part of the thing too is when you're sitting in the room with somebody, no matter who they are, even if you hate them, there is sometimes something about them that you connect to and like, and it becomes harder to hate them. Again, it doesn't have to be a politician. I've met people like Lauren Boebert. I don't know her. I don't agree with her politics. And I met her once, and she was very nice.
It's Kid Rock's girlfriend. Not his girlfriend, is it?
I don't know. I met her she was at a Kill Tony event. But she was so nice, and I enjoyed chatting with her. And it's like, even if I don't agree with her, I don't have the same feelings about her that are bad. Like, you know what I mean? Because I've met her and she was nice.
Oh, for sure.
It's harder for me to look at her like just this person who's got no real feelings and no real connection to anything.
Oh, yeah. She got them bumpers on her, too.
She is quite attractive.
Is she?
Yeah. She looks great. I got zero vibes off her, but I mean, she was, as I shouldn't have.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
But she was nice. So when you meet somebody, sometimes you think you know what they're going to be like and they wind up impressing you, and you're like, ugh. It's harder for me to dislike that. But although Netanyahu that's such a controversial issue. I'm not saying you would like the guy, but you know what I mean? Sitting across from him, you may feel differently or you may hate him more.
Right. Yeah, there is something about sitting across from somebody, or at least sitting across from them. There is some connection of like spatial energy, of something like that, of like, because I think it is human to want to find some commonality with people. I think I start to realize that some people will just use you And you don't realize it. Like I used to think like everybody just wants to come and they want to have a conversation and stuff. And you can learn stuff about each other. Sure. But then some people just want to they'll use you to get their message out there. And I think I didn't realize sometimes that that's how things work.
Yes.
And so I think I've noticed that more over time. So maybe that would keep me out of certain conversations, you know?
It depends
maybe like with Yahoo.
You afraid that he would just use you to message?
I feel like his group is so calculated that they would be able to do it in a way that I wouldn't even maybe see it, you know? I don't know.
I think that anyone in public life, especially in like official politicians, congressmen, they all do this thing where they have talking points and they're masters at veering back to a talking point. And when they're bad at it, we hate them. Sometimes they're good at it and you don't realize they're doing it. But most times we're savvy enough to go, what do you fucking, they're like, look, you know, you'll be like, well, yeah, but what about that thing where they did find the dead prostitute in your closet? No, I know. But the thing with the economy is, and they're right back to talking about and you're like, you didn't answer the fucking question. That's why so many of them are so hateable. Because I think we've gotten a little bit better at seeing it now.
For sure.
When they're back on their talking points.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the interview that we did with Trump, because it really was just a conversation about sports. And I would love to I wish I had told him how much I love that he talked to Kim Jong-un. I didn't get to say that to him. I wish I had. I just forgot afterwards. But we were saying our goodbyes and he was taking pictures with everybody. And I wish I had told him, like, I love that he went to North Korea and tried. Like, I love that he made an effort with that little short, weird guy.
That'd be cool, huh? You think Un is cool or what?
If you're a Chicago Bull, yeah. Like if you played for the Bulls, he's awesome.
Right.
You know, if your uncle is in the military and made a questionable decision, you're executed. I imagine there's a downside to it. Depends on who you are.
Yeah, dude, he looks fucking cool, dude.
He looks interesting to be. Like, here's what I would think with him. I would be afraid that I'd be in North Korea and there's a language barrier and he would want to toast with alcohol, and I would try to tell him like I'm an alcoholic, so I'd have to refuse the drink, and that would start a whole you insulted the leader thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. I think sometimes whenever you insulted them, I think that would be kind of, something like that could be really misskewed or something.
You know who fascinates me? The Sultan of Brunei.
Really?
Who owns like the Beverly Hilton. Like that's a guy who lives that'd be a fun guy to know.
Ooh.